How are you, YouTube? George here, back again. We've done a few more little bits with this since we seen you last. Now, I went ahead and I put all the Downfeed components back on. Barry has a lot of videos on H&W about this. So if you want to see how it's all fitted, he has plenty of videos there. Now, what I will say is, particularly if you're after painting your machine, before I had all this put back in, and I had to take it all back out again because I didn't pay particular attention to these holes. This one, the one down here, up inside where the trip lever arm goes, that slot going across there, where this slides over and back here, the trip block. Now, it's fairly simple the way it works. There's a little plunger in the bottom of this block, and when you move it over, the pin engages in it. So how it works is that you can see it there moving up and down. This is all linked together, so there's a little barbell in here, and that acts like a seesaw. So that's to trip it when it's going up. So you should have about that much. It's about 4 mil of movement in your depth rod. And you can see the plunger going up and down there, that rod. So them two holes, you need to pay a lot of attention to them and make sure they're clean. And there was a lot of corrosion in these, and I should have cleaned them all out before I painted it, but look, however. So we have all that working now, which I'll show you in a second. So the next thing I done was I made this knob. This was missing. This is just for the forward and reverse and neutral on the Downfeed. So we made that and knurled it and gun blued it and the whole lot. And then I got rid of the handle. I didn't like the handle. And I seen Keith Fenner's mail where he had the steering wheel on it. So I did the same stunt. This is just a deep dish wheel I got off of Amazon. And what I done was I machined the boss, the original boss, machined it down. Then I made this ring here. And I have it attached. It's bolted to this. So this comes off. The little grub screw in now at the minute, but it just slides off the same as it would the normal handle. And you know, I just think it looks smart. And I think that was 20 odd quid steering wheel. Can't remember, but wasn't very expensive anyway. So what we done was we repurposed the original quill handle and we put it there. So for when you're tensioning the belt, you have somewhere to push rather than grabbing this. It just leaves it a little bit easier to get the tension right on the belt. So yeah, we're quite pleased. So we'll give you a demonstration now of the Downfeed working. So we'll go through the 3 speeds and how this works, and we'll show you the trip engagement and the whole lot. So we'll start up the machine. Oh wait, no, before I started it, I have to engage the Downfeed with the lever here. So as you can see there now, that's spinning. And if I slash neutral, come on, there we go, reverse, and forward. So that's its highest speed there. So that's slow. Oh, the slowest speed is here in the middle. That's 1.5 inches per minute. And then the bottom one is 3 inches per minute in there, and then the top one is 6 inches per minute. So that's your rate of travel that the quill comes down when you engage the downfeed. So if I engage the downfeed now by pulling this across, you can see it's doing its thing. So what will happen is when this comes down to the stop here, wherever I set it, this will trip. So there you are, it's tripped. So if I put it into reverse and I engage again, now in this case it'll just go back up to the top. There you have it. So if the downfeed is disengaged now, you can disengage it when it's running, but you should stop the machine and engage it when it's stopped, like so. You stop the machine. You might have to give the, this is awkward to do with one-handed now. You might have to just move the quill to get the gears to mesh. Because if you do it when it's running, it'll grind. But you can disengage it, no bother. That's fine, because you're just moving that gear away from the spiral gear on the bottom of the bull gear shaft. So it's running nice. Everything's going well. No trouble. We've had quite a bit of run time on it now to get the bearings settled in. I did have a bit of trouble with this here, and the same story. It was just down to being dirty and gummed up, so I had to clean everything and take that all apart, and had to take all the gubbins out of here and clean that as well. So if you're you know, recommissioning a machine that's been laid up for a long time, you want to pay a lot of attention, as I said, on the that this has free movement. Like, it doesn't take much to move it. But yeah, so quite happy with that, and yeah, very pleased. So that is that finished now. So the next part of the challenge will be getting the column and the table and the knee and all of that back here, and getting all that sorted out. So what we'll do in the meantime is we're going to have a bit of a tidy up here, and we'll get rid of that table thing over here. That was just there to hold all the bits of the mill when I was at it. So we'll get rid of that, and we'll put the mill over there in the corner and just cover it up. And we need to get the rest of it over here then and tear into that. So it does look smart, I think, with steering wheel on it. And just something cool I seen when I seen Keith Fender's one. I said, oh, I have to do that. And yeah, happy days. So look it, I'll leave it there for this video, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.